They asked me, hey, do you want to be the CEO? And I said, only if you want me to be the CEO.
You are a native of India. What part of India?
I was born in Hyderabad, which is in the central part of India. Unfortunately, I picked up this bad habit of smoking in India in college.
You've now had to follow Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer, two legendary figures. Did you feel at that time that you were really ready for the job following those legends, or were you saying, hey, I can do a better job than they did?
The best advice I got from both Bill and Steve, I think helped me a lot, because their clear message was, don't try to be like us. Don't even bother to sort of say, oh, I'm succeeding these people. Just be your own. In fact, I remember very distinctly, even during the interview process, this is for the board was conducting, they asked me, hey, do you want to be the CEO? And I said, only if you want me to be the CEO. And the feedback I got was, well, but people who want to be CEOs are like, I want to be CEO. I said, look, that's not me. And I remember going and talking to Steve, and he says, yeah, just be yourself. It's too late to change.
Since you've been the CEO, 3.5 years, the stock is up about, I guess it's about 120%. When you go to your annual shareholder meetings, do you get a standing ovation for what you've done?
No, I get a lot of people asking me, hey, look, come home and fix my computer.
Okay. You are a native of India. What part of India?
I was born in Hyderabad, which is in the central part of India.
And so growing up, your parents doted on you, I assume?
Yeah, they did.
And they told you were going to be Prime Minister or something important in the country. What did they want you to be?
They just wanted me to stop playing cricket and take my studies a little more seriously.
Now, you were an avid cricket player. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. I was in love with it, yeah.
And when did you realize you weren't going to be a professional cricket player?
Pretty soon. Quickly, I realized that at best, I would play, what is considered perhaps first-class cricket in India, but I was not going to go much further than that. But then that's when my dad, in fact, I remember one of the big decisions that changed my life was, my entire outlook was so provincial when I look back at it, which is, hey, I want to stay in Hyderabad, maybe study economics and political science and work for a bank. That was about the extent of my ambition. And he looks at me and he says, what are you doing? You got to get out of this place. And so he pushed me out to get to an engineering school, and that pretty much, of course, defined the trajectory afterwards.
Your father was a member of the senior civil service, which is an important position, I guess, in India. Is that right?
Yeah, my dad was a very different guy than me in terms of, let me say, his academic prowess. So it is always humorous, which you look at my report cards and he says, oh, I don't understand how anybody can have these kind of marks. But the nice thing about it was he would say it in such endearing ways that it never made me feel bad.
You mean the marks weren't high enough or weren't?
Not high enough.
They weren't high enough.
Because, the guy had never met an exam he didn't ace, as he would say.
Okay.
And so he was like, it was astounding to me that he would have a son who couldn't ace an exam.
Now, your father's still alive?
Yes.
And he must be very proud of what you've achieved.
Not enough.
So you went to college in India, and then you decided to get graduate school in the United States. So where did you go?
I went to University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee for my computer. That's when I switched from electrical engineering to computer science.
But when you're in India, University of Wisconsin Milwaukee can't be that well known in India. So how did you happen to wind up there?
I'd never been to west of Bombay, quite frankly, and then I showed up in Milwaukee.
Did you have a winter coat, or what?
That was my first very valued possession in life, a winter coat, which is very important. Unfortunately, I picked up this bad habit of smoking in India in college, and the one nice thing about going to school in Milwaukee is if you're a smoker, you had to go out in the winter and smoke. And that one winter in Milwaukee cured me of my smoking habit.
Wow, good. So you got a job after you graduated at Sun Microsystems. And what was your job there?
I was a software developer.
Okay. And then you got recruited to go to another company called Microsoft. And that was in 1992?
That's right.
So, but you also had applied to go to the University of Chicago School of Business. So how did you decide to do one or the other?
Quite frankly, David, I was very committed to saying, oh, I want to go to the business school. Maybe, who knows, maybe even go to Wall Street. That was sort of my...
The highest calling of mankind, right?
says David Rubenstein.
Right, right.
And I thought, wow, maybe that's what I should do. And then somewhere along the lines, I started talking to people and I said, hey, why would you do that? You're in tech. And you should really come back. It's an amazing time because Windows NT, which eventually became our server business and what have you, was just starting out. And I subsequently went and did some combination of part-time and other courses and actually finished my MBA, which I find stunning. And my
So
wife,
you were commuting, in other words. You were working, and then on weekends you're commuting to University of Chicago, and that must have taken a lot of energy to do both, right?
Oh, it was crazy.